I wanted to share how I overcame social anxiety. And the reason why I do this is I think that this can inspire people who are having social anxiety right now, and it could show them that it could show you, if you have it, that you can change, and that it's not part of you, it's not part of your identity. It's just something that's happening to you right now, but that you can transcend, definitely. So first off, um, I'm maybe gonna talk about how it manifested in my life. So it started when I was around 15 years old, when I was in high school, and all of a sudden I started to be super scared of doing presentations in front of a group of people. And I think it started in one particular presentation where, before the presentation, it was still the old me. I didn't give a shit about the presentation. I had never been scared about such a thing. And then during the presentation, like a wave of heat overcame my body, and I started shivering. And to this day, I don't know what happened and what shifted in me. And so I ended this presentation super quickly because I was scared. I didn't know what happened to me, and yeah, I completely like failed the presentation. Did a very bad presentation, and I just ended it. And from that point on, I was very scared in every situation that was quite similar to that one. So I was scared of doing presentations in front of people. I was scared when I was in a room where they were like, I don't know, more than maybe 5, 10 people, and who were looking at me. It got me like super tense. And for example, I was also scared when I was eating with people at a table, because when you eat, and if your body's shivering, everyone notices, because you're eating with your hands. And so this was kind of a thing that bothered me so much. So it started when I was 15, and it was part of my life, I'd say, during yeah, until I was 18 years old or 19 or something, until I started to want to change something about it. So what happened in my life was that I was so scared to hang out with people I liked and to do things I liked, that I just what my behavior was that I was avoiding like to step out of my comfort zone at any cost, because it was so scary. But I think one day, so I was in engineering school, I was around 19 years old. I just realized that my life wasn't getting any better, and that it was just passing by in front of my eyes, and that nothing changed. And this actually started scaring me more than anxiety itself. I started to think, shit, if I don't do anything, I'll be the same person in when I'm done with my studies, when I'm 23, and I don't want that. So what I started to tell myself was kind of a mantra, but I was just telling myself all the time when I was scared to do something, dude, this is your life, this is your movie, and you're fucking it up right now. It will not change. I didn't say all of this. I just said this is your life. And this was something that triggered emotions in myself, and I was like, shit. It kind of shifted the perspective on my life, and I was seeing it from more a bird-eyed view, and I was seeing this point in my life where I could change something, and I was like, shit, this is really my life, the life of Louis. And it's this pathetic thing, and I don't want it to be like this. I want to change it, like how do you say, a producer would change like the scenario of a movie. I just want to change it. I know I can. It's scary, but I can. So I started to step out of my comfort zone. At that point, I also changed friends and went to. So the big change was that I forced myself to go towards people that I actually liked rather than hanging out with people that I wasn't scared of or that didn't scare me. And my life started changing a little bit from that point on. And then big changes happened when I was 21 and when I started to. So, first, when I read the book The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle, which is a book in which. So, it's a spiritual book in which he explains how he had a spiritual awakening after feeling really stressed out and anxious, and just after he couldn't bear his life anymore. That guy had just an awakening, and he noticed that everything there is the present moment right now, and that all the rest are just thoughts. So all the things that you're scared of are actually not don't actually exist. They don't exist. They exist as thoughts in your head, but they don't exist as things. They are maybe gonna exist, but what you're actually scared of is thoughts. Thoughts are triggering like fear in yourself, not the thing, but just the thoughts. And he explains that in more detail in his book. And so I read it. It just like changed how I saw life. And I started to meditate, to do mindfulness meditation, to focus on my breath every morning for first 5, then 10, 20 minutes. And I started to do it throughout the day, also to be more aware of my thoughts, of my breath, and of my body. And so this was another big shift in my life, because I noticed that I can actually observe what happens in my body when I'm in fear, and when my body is in flight or fight response, and I'm sweating, I'm shivering, and my heart rate is raising. So I could observe that, and I could also lower those symptoms just by focusing on my body, and just by doing a body scan or feeling my feet, feeling my hands, and yeah. So it helped me to, I think, just in a few weeks, I started to extend my comfort zone a lot, and to be able to act normal with people and in social environments. So I was still super scared of them, and compared to other people, I still had very irrational fears when it came to certain settings. But at least I knew that I had some kind of influence on my body, some kind of control on my body. And this is what helped me tremendously. So this is just a quick story. And what I will do is, in the next video, I think that I'll share what I did after that. So how I continued working on myself, and which methods or things or perspectives I think are best in order to deal with social anxiety. But to wrap it up, I think it is very healthy to see it as a challenge that is a catalyzer for personal growth. Because now I still have some fears that are related to the fears of back then, but mostly now I'm at the level of most people that I know. So I'm not more fearful than them. I'm actually less fearful for a lot of things and a little bit for other things. So my comfort zone is not the same than many people, but almost, I'd say. And but what I noticed is that it gave me a perspective on life that is just unique. So when I talk about this with people, they cannot really relate to what I'm saying. So I'm asking them, for example, if they meditate, if they had the same thing meditating, like, I don't know, that it changed their whole personality. and they tell me no, not at all. I was just a little bit calmer or more focused or something. So what I take from all this, from my past, is that I and everyone has the power to change in ways that's not even imaginable. That's crazy. People tend to identify with their current habits, thoughts, ideas, beliefs about life. They tend to think that that's who they are. They say, oh, I'm shy, or I'm this kind of person. Ah, no, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to talk in front of people. But actually, that's not who you are. That's just something you're experiencing right now that you can completely change. And when you have social anxiety and you kind of resolve that issue, then you gain this perspective that you can change, and it's huge because it's a ball that starts rolling and that actually I think never stops. And to get that ball rolling, social anxiety is actually a good thing to push you to grow more, to work on yourself. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you. Peace.